stay-at-home dad, watching Disney movies he never had. His daughter digs through all the VHS, crushing the classics in a princess dress. Informed like Scuttle, Kurt's got your ticket, making it real like Jiminy Cricket. Most are off the Captain Hook, but if the Tweedledum, he'll be taking more shots than Bambi's mom. Leaves him raised like Simba, or cracked like the beach dishes. He'll show you a whole new world, you won't need pre-wishes. Stay-at-home Disney dad.
We did this last year and it wasn't fun. But we did February is a Pooh month. Yeah, here on the prairies, February is the shortest but longest month of the year. You have to experience the darkness and the cold. It's truly a Pooh month. You just have to suffer through, much like these Winnie the Pooh VHS tapes. So let's do this. February is a Pooh month, Pooh 2, and here we go. Might want to sit down. Here we have Pooh Party. Yes, Pooh Party. They named this tape Pooh Party because the makers of Winnie the Pooh hate parents and they sow seeds of chaos and they plant them in your kids. Pooh Party, folks. We kick off Pooh 2 with Pooh Party. You want more reviews on this? Google Pooh Party on your work computer. Let me know. No, just kidding. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Pooh Party. We start with some smooth sax. A must for any Pooh Party, so I'm told. I didn't even make it through the intro without looking at my watch. Party Pooper is the actual title of the first story. It just gets better. We start with Rabbit, and he's happy, and his life has order, and he's well rested and groomed. So you know what that means. Here comes his friends to just up and make him lose his mind and have a breakdown and then gaslight him into feeling about himself because he tried to have any sort of pre-planning schedule and work ethic and work ahead because him. Pooh and his friends aren't happy unless they are destroying anyone else's plans and mentally beating them into being as miserable as they are. I love how everyone was like, oh, they made a horror movie of Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, since the beginning. I've always stated these are the worst characters ever. It's constant. I'm not even tracking this because it's the same shit. Rabbit is hosting a party. He's made a schedule and he asks his friends to help out and adhere to the schedule to make sure everything is ready and on time when his relatives arrive. But he asked them for help. So Rabbit has to eat for the next 20 minutes. They have to break this guy and make him realize the smallest chance to better himself is a threat to the rest of them, and that's got to be snuffed out immediately. This is honestly a plot that happens over and over in the prison drama HBO's Oz. Anytime an inmate decided to make a decision to try to turn their life around for the better, started attending classes or going for their GED or just trying to remove themselves from the pain and violence of the everyday prison life and look at some sort of rehabilitation, this was a threat to all his friends and fellow inmates who did not want to do this, right? And watching someone else try to do it was not really threatening to them, but it made them feel bad. So they would go out of the way to suck this other inmate back into like the dangerous behavior or the drugs or just getting them kicked out of the schooling program or erasing any sort of positive progress they were making. Thus the instigator would make sure the other guy stayed broken and angry, easier to control because their dreams had been squashed again. And this is the basic premise of every version of this Winnie the Pooh shows. Any version of the shows. I'm serious. It's always about one character wanting to do something and the collective crowd ruins it. Then the original character who tried to be more than they currently were realizes they were selfish. They were to think their original plan was something they actually wanted. I'm not insane. Look at it. The only lesson Pooh ever teaches is one of roll with the punches and adapting your expectations. But that. If you wanted to go see a movie, and right before you left the house, I broke into your house dressed like a clown on meth, and my friends and I, we threw your refrigerator through your front window, then came down off the drugs and felt really bad about it. That's not on you. It's not. I'm the still. There's no lesson for you other than get better friends. It's me. It's not you. What I said would happen is the party didn't go as planned and Rabbit has to eat. It's over. Up next, A Bird in the Hand. A narrator says Pooh and his friends get kidnapped in the woods and have to think fast to get out of it.
Stay tuned as Pooh and all his friends get kidnapped in the woods and do some quick thinking to get out of it.
Are you hearing this? For real. This is the plot of Winnie the Pooh. We're back to Rabbit planning another party. It's a welcome home party for one of his friends. This is the exact same plot as the first one. Piglet brings flowers, but they're dandelions, and Rabbit is like, I didn't say dandelions. You know I'm allergic to dandelions, and this is played off like Rabbit is the and he's not. Think about it, he's not. It's Piglet. Piglet's the His bird friend Cassie is coming home, and she's grown up, and Rabbit is weirded out by this, that she's an adult now, and he's super possessive and is like, you can stay forever. But then there's this bad elephant and a fox who's dressed like Blossom, and they want to eat Cassie the bird. Rabbit is feeding Cassie in a high chair and bathing her in the sink, because this whole thing is that Cassie isn't a little girl anymore, and Rabbit's in denial. She's a grown-up woman and moved out on her own and just came back to visit. So imagine your young female friend coming back from college and you try bathing her in the sink like you did when she was a baby. Winnie the Pooh writers are just like with us now. They don't care. They don't care. These writers are some seriously broken people. They're just spewing chaos out there. The fox comes and wants to hold Cassie for ransom, and they discuss how Cassie is still here and he doesn't have a ransom note, and they explain how the kidnap and ransom process works to a bunch of kids watching this tape. This is unreal. This has been my favorite Pooh tape ever. They leave a note on the wrong door. They put it on Pooh's door like the ransom note, but Winnie the Pooh is such a he can't remember if he put this note on his own door or not, and that's actually really funny, right? Now they all get kidnapped. They're out in the forest, but then all the characters point out that they're all kidnapped. No one is left to pay the ransom, and also no one loves these characters or would pay for them anyway. Now that's a fun plot twist. Now the kidnappers realize they've sealed their own fate as they realize that being stuck in the woods with these characters is horrible on every level. So they're insufferable. The kidnappers actually say to each other, what did we do to deserve this? Amen. What did I do? They get covered in honey and they leave, and Rabbit is like, Cassie, can we still be friends even if I can't bathe you anymore? Lessons! Lessons all around on this tape. Here we go. Next up, a Pooh Day afternoon is next. Tigger the Terrific is about to show his friends a trick he does with his vacuum cleaner. Tigger asks for a volunteer and sucks up Piglet. And now the vacuum won't open. And this is so classic Pooh. Hey, come watch my magic show. I don't care if you don't want to. Come watch, come watch, come watch. Oh no, now you're stuck in a filthy, claustrophobic vacuum bag. That's what you get. That's what you deserve for trying to be a good person. Gopher comes and he's mad because Tigger didn't even ask to borrow his vacuum. He just took it. And Gopher comes to get it back. And again, this scene plays out like Gopher is the bad guy. But he's not. You can't just take people's Christopher Robin shows up and he says he got his first real job and he's trying to pull and drag something that's just off screen, and no one can tell me that's not going to be a big bag of torsos. No, it's a dog. It's this giant dog. He's dog sitting. It actually looks like the dog from Little Mermaid. Robin says if he does a good job, his mom might let him get his own giant dog, and Piglet is uncomfortable with his giant animal. He's like, wouldn't you want a smaller dog that can't fit me in his mouth? And Christopher Robin takes so much glee in Piglet's fear and is like, no, I want a giant dog, ha ha ha. We see Christopher Robin's mom now, well, from behind anyway, and is there a Mr. Robin still in the picture? Everyone is hanging with the dog as Piglet hides in a tree, but if you know Pooh like I know Pooh, they're gonna drag Piglet out and make him play with the dog until he ends up in the animal's mouth, and the lesson is gonna be, it's a good thing to be dragged kicking and screaming into your worst fears by your friends. Just watch. Robin leaves Pooh and Tigger in charge of the dog like an idiot, and what did he expect? He comes back like 30 seconds later and the dog is gone. They bumbled it and Robin is mad. How could you lose the dog? Oh. Is it your first day in 100 Acre Woods, you idiot? Did you just meet these two? Looking after a dog would require them to think about something other than themselves for more than 20 seconds. That ain't ever gonna happen, so the dog is gone. We transition to a grocer, bless his heart. He's cleaning up his grocery store and it's all neat and clean and everything is stacked to perfection. There's only one reason to introduce a character like this with pride and discipline in a Winnie the Pooh movie. Yeah, this guy, man, minding his own business. Destruction, chaos, damage, misery, pain, anger, disappointment, hatred. Give it to me, Pooh. Give it to me. This is what you get. This is what you get. Everything. Nothing matters. Then they just leave. They walk the dog home and they're like, well, we got to give you a bath now. Meanwhile, the grocer is declaring bankruptcy. His wife left. He's probably, contemplating taking his own life because it's ruined, but that's just another day of someone unfortunate enough to be in the same vicinity, to cross paths, to be in the same orbit as Pooh and his buddies. The dog escapes again, but now they ride Gopher's vacuum down the street and they catch the dog one last time. We have this moment where Christopher Robin has to go to the neighbors and explain that he actually lost the dog and he's responsible and it's his fault and he has to accept the consequences even though he's sorry. You know, a real lesson coming at you in Winnie the Pooh. But nope, the idiot crew show up at the buzzer with the dog and he's like, oh, here's the dog, nothing ever happened. All the misery and the hurt feelings and the destructions, all erased. It's like we jumped from the start to the end and nothing of note happened. No one's in trouble, no lessons learned, Pooh party credits roll, and you know, I feel better I got this all out. This was by far the best Pooh tape yet. It was one giant spotlight on everything I've ever said about this character in these franchises. So redeeming. Pooh party, everybody. It was a Pooh party.
That's what I think about.
What do you think?
What we have is a concern about Curtis Anderson. His interviewing style is not the best. His personal appearance is not the best. I was wondering if the man has some kind of a hold over the channel that he's allowed to be employed for so long with the standards of journalism and